stick to it if I can, and I'm just going to preach otherwise, as the Holy Spirit asks me to.
Amen.
Because the scriptures this week are hard, and I was looking for the theme in them. And I was going to start with kind of a flippant question, but this is not the week for a flippant question. It's been a hard week. It's been a hard week for our community and for our world. In our community, we've lost 2 parishioners this week, Victor and Anne. Anne passed away last evening, and that's hard. And I'm not going to cry. So we have to talk about the hard things. We have to talk about when things are not okay. We have to say they're not okay. And we have to be together when that happens, because that's what we do. And on Friday morning, we all woke up to the news that a white supremacist in New Zealand gunned down 49 people. It's now 51. 51 folks have died who were in their mosque praying. They were going to worship God and pray, and someone walked into their space and gunned them down. That's not okay. And we can't be quiet about it, and we can't not talk about it. It's very real. And I met with people this week who are struggling. I met with someone who's moved here. God told them they knew they were supposed to move here for their family. And they came here. And then the job fell through. And they have no family here. And they don't know, am I really supposed to be here? Is this really what God was asking of me? What is going on? And then I met with someone who's being bullied. And it's not right. And what was being thrown at them was vicious and mean and ugly and not true. And the people who should have stood up for them didn't stand up for them. And that's not okay. And then I met with someone who felt called by God to serve people who are hungry. And there's roadblock after roadblock after roadblock. Process, procedure, law, this. They just want to feed hungry people. And they're questioning God, is that really what you want me to do? So if you read those readings today, if you hear them again, we see all that happening. Abram and Sarai, God came to them and said, pick up your entire life and move. Just start walking, just start journeying, and when I tell you to stop, stop and build a new life. And I will bless you, and I will give you so many children that the stars in the sky can't even be as many. So Abram and Sarai they go. They walk and they walk and they stop when God tells them to stop, and they build this new life and they work hard and they persevere. And they're like, hello, there's no baby. And I'm getting too old to have babies. You promised us this. We're here. What? And they're questioning. And God says, do not be afraid. I am your shield. This will be. And they persevered and they trusted in God, and it was. They did have a child. And Abram became Abraham. And Abraham is the father of us all. Jew, Christian, Muslim, all. And then we hear David in the Psalms. David literally is being chased down by his father-in-law. His father-in-law wants to kill him. His father-in-law is the king and doesn't want David to become the king. His father-in-law is saying things about him that are not true and chasing him. And David's like, help! I really want to run away and do something else. I got my guitar. I could go sing somewhere. Here. Wouldn't that be awesome? That would be awesome. And so David perseveres. He stays, and God blesses him, and God makes him the king, and God stays with David through everything. If you know David's story, he's not a perfect guy. He did some naughty things, and God stayed with him. And then we have Paul. His entire letter today is saying, stand firm, speak out. You got this. You can do this. Christ has called you into this. Christ will stand with you through this. Christ is with you. Do not fear. Persevere. And then comes Jesus. Thanks be to God. Jesus is walking to Jerusalem. He's been healing and teaching. Okay, talk about a hard day. He went in to teach in the synagogue, and they chased him out and tried to throw him off a cliff. People were not wanting to hear his message. He was shaking things up. And today the Pharisees want to be his friend. They're like, hey, did you hear? Herod wants to kill you. He's like, okay, I know that. And I know Herod's too scared to kill me. He's not going to. And you're not going to stop me from doing what I know I'm supposed to do. You cannot stop me from continuing this journey and healing and teaching and loving and inviting and equipping and encouraging. Because that's my calling. And I will not be deterred. I am determined. Luke uses the words, he set his face determined. And he did not look back. Those are all of our stories. We have hard days. We wonder, where is God? When my kids are having a difficult time, I am on my knees crying out, God help me. God help my children. Where are you? When I didn't have a job or a paycheck, God, I need to feed my children. Where are you? Help me. When I've had to sit at my mother-in-law's dying bed, God, where are you? Circle around me and help me. And that's where community is so important. That's where this image of the hen is so important. Jesus is saying, I'm going to spread my wings, and I'm going to bring you in, and I'm going to bring you together, and you are going to do this work with one another, for one another. You're going to welcome people in. You're going to affirm who they are at their core and their being, and you're going to stand with them, and you're going to be with them when they need you the most. And that's what we're supposed to do. In our hardest of days, when we are crying out, God, where are you? God is right there. God is right there. And it might be in the face of someone you love. It might be a hug that you've received. It might be a prayer that comes over text that you weren't even thinking that someone was thinking of you. But God is right there. So, Christ before us, Christ above us, Christ beneath us, Christ beside us, Christ lift us up and love us. Amen.